Hi there, I'm Andy Hillier, and I've had loads of requests for this guitar solo. It's from the song She by Harry Styles. So I've written out the solo. I'm going to go line by line, teach you how to play it. I'll also put a transcription on my website, which is 9to42.com. So you should be able to print it off from there, and I'll put a link in the description down below. If you could give me a like on this video, leave me some comments, and subscribe to the channel, which is Andy Hillier, I'd be really appreciative. Okay, so let's go through it. If you want to hear my version of it, I've already done a playthrough of it, and I'll probably put a link, hopefully, up there, and you can have a link, and I'll put a link in the description down below as well, so you can hear the solo in its entirety. But let's go through it line by line. We've got loads to get through, so let's get started. So the first line sounds like this. I'm going to turn my guitar up a little bit. Okay, so it starts off on A5, and we're going to bend it a little bit out of tune, so it's going to just pull the note down a little bit. And then we're going to play A7, and then it goes back to the A5, A7, and then a really fast slide from 7 to 9 on the D string. And then you're going to go into the third bar and play D7, a G7 bending out of tune, and then play D9, and then G9 with a full bend. So the first line goes. Let's go on to the next line. Sounds like this. So for that we're going G9, and then bending up B8, a full tone, and then a B8 normal. So this is the first note of the second bar. And then that first bend, on the record he doesn't actually play it again, but I often play it again. So it just bends up, and then back to an 8, and then back up, bend it up again a tone. So the first two bars go. And then the next bar we bend it up, play it normal, bend it up, then normal again, all on the 8. And then the line finishes with 4 bends on the B10, and then the last note is a normal B10. So the whole line goes. Next line starts the same as the first line. We've got fret 5 on the A string, then A7, and then 5, 7, and then another slide from 7 to 9, and then playing the D7 and then G7, bending it a bit out of tune. So the first 3 bars go. And then this is the first of the tricky little phrases. It goes, which is doing a little pull off, going from G9 to G7, and then play the D9. So that's a triplet or sextuplet. And then you're going to play G7, G9, G7, G9, G7, G9, G7, G9, and it's really straight. The next line that we'll see is actually swung, but this bit is straight. So it's. So the whole line goes. On to the next line. We're starting with that 9, but we're going to bend it up, G9, and then 2 hits on it normally. And then this is where it starts to do a swung rhythm. This is pretty much the only bit that does a swung rhythm from this, the triplets onwards. So you're going to do G9, G7, and then D9. That's a triplet. And then this bit's swung, and it goes G7, D9, D7, D9. So the first bar. Okay, let's do that again. And then it goes to D7, and then to A10, D7, A10, and then A7 again. So that up to the D9, and then these next three notes, the D7, A10, A7. That's the triplet there. So you're going to watch out for that for the rhythm, and then it finishes with A10, D7, A10, D7. So bar 2 goes. So it's important to get that rhythm correct. The next bar is just a bend on D7, and then plays normal D7, A10, D7. Then rest. Just bending the D7 on that last bar. So the whole of that line goes. Next line starts on, it's almost like the same as the intro kind of bit, A5, and then A7, and then does a little triplet going A7, A5, E7. And then this next bar is a little bit tricky. It goes so it's A5, E7, triplets going 3, 5, 3, 5 on the E string, and then E3, open E, E3, E5, E3, E5, E3, E5. That bar slowly. So bars 1 and 2 go. And then the next bar starts the same, but it brings in that little triplet going a little bit earlier. So that bar is. Oh. And then the last bar starts with a triplet going 5, 3, 0 on the E string, and then it's going to play 3, 5, 3, 5, bend on the 5, then a normal 5, 3, 5, 3. So the fourth bar goes. So the whole of that line goes. Next line, 5th fret on the A string again, then A7, then fret 5 on the D string, then D5, and then the whole of the next bar is just hitting D7, and then we've got the next bar which goes 5, 6, 7, 7, 7, 5, 6, 7, and then the final bar is 5, 6, 7, 5, and then 3 bends on the D7. So the whole line goes. So that's a relatively easy line. The next line goes on to G9. You're going to play a G9. So you're going to play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The first one lasts for 1.5 beats. The rest of them are quavers. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're going to play a G7, and then D9, A10. And then you're just going to hold down the G9, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, down, 2, 2. So lots of vibrato on these notes. The last 9 bends up a tone. So that line goes. On to the next line, which is G7 to D9, nice and fast, and then 2 G9s, and then you can do a little triplet from G9 to G7 to D9. So it's, and then this bit's swung and it goes. Actually, that might be straight. I can't quite remember. I should really know this, but it's either straight or swung. So that's the second bar. Let me think of the song. It's straight, sorry. And then it goes to B8, and it plays 3 of those. Then B10. Then 8-10. Then another 8-10. Then 2 bends on the 10th fret. Rest. 2. Then 2 more bends after that. So that whole line slowly goes. On to the next line. Starts with the bend on the 10. Oh, sorry, I played the rhythm slightly wrong there. So it starts with bend on the 10. And then it's going to play that again, dropping it down, back to the 8, and then back to the 10. And the next line goes, the next bar goes B8, 2, 3, and then 3 9s. So the first 2 bars go. And then the next bar starts with a rest, and then 4 bends, actually 3 bends up, and then the 4th one, you hit the bend when it's already up, dropping down to fret to the 10th fret, and then playing fret 8, and then a pull off from 10 to 8, and then play G9. So bar 3 goes rest. And then the last bar is B8 to G9, and then you bend up the 10th fret of the B string, then a normal B on B10, a really quick fast hammer on from 8 to 10, and then 2 8s. So let's play the whole of that line. Here we go. And on to the next line. Starts on B8. You're just going to hold it into the next bar, and then the last little hit on the last note of the second bar, you're going to play B8, and then a fast B8 to B10. So it goes 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5, and then G9. So that should be pretty straightforward, that line, and that's the end of it. So let's just play that last line. Ready? 1 2 3 4 5 6. And then just to finish off, put another G9 on the end, and that's the whole solo. Hopefully it should make sense. Let's just try it. I'm going to try and play. I'll try and get it right. We'll go all the way through, nice and slowly. And then if you want to hear it up to full speed, go to my other video where I play the solo. And also you can probably download this transcription from my website, 9 to 42. There should be a link below. Okay, let's try it nice and slowly. It might not be perfectly in time, but let's give it a go. Ready? 1 2 3 4 5 6. A little mistake on that last line. I'm sure you can forgive me for that. Well, please leave me some comments in the comment section down below. Hopefully you've enjoyed this little video. If you have, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, give me a like, share the video. I'd really appreciate that. Thanks for watching this. I've been Andy Hillier, and I'll see you next time.